down and.
Sure, if you have a client that wants me to sit down with them, sure. But nowadays, everything is online.
Oh, yeah, online.
I mean,
better,
especially the
even better.
millennials, they wanna do everything
Yeah,
online.
they very good online.
Nobody wants to meet anymore like it used to
Yeah.
be. You know, I've been doing this for 16 years, 15, 16 years. And when I first started, you'd have to go to the house, sit down, bring the application with them, go over everything, sign it by hand, make copies and bring everything back. Now everything is automated.
And what's your name?
Michael,
Mike.
my son.
Yeah, I believe the people, the young couples, they easily can do it
Yeah.
online and even better for them. But I believe the co-signer, he's like a little old generation. He
Yeah.
would love to meet you.
Yeah, that's
anyway.
fine, not a problem. I can come down.
Yeah.
I mean, I service the whole state, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Wonderful.
You know, I have realtors in Port St. Lucie, all the way down to actually in Coral Gables. So I go all over.
I'm working with Tom Prakas in Boca Raton. Do you know?
What's the name?
Tom Prakas. It's a broker restaurant, mostly restaurant, nightclubs.
No,
Deep broker.
I never heard that name, no.
In Boca
Prakas?
Raton. Prakas.
Prakas?
Tom.
Tom, never heard that. But you do commercial, so commercial is great.
Commercial, yeah.
Yeah, commercial's not regulated, you know, and on our end, you can make a ton of money. But I don't get involved with commercial business. I don't do any commercial.
Okay, I think we should begin, guys.
You want some coffee, bagel?
Coffee bagel? So,
Okay, take your time.
One
take your
second,
time.
one second.
1 second.
One more second. Ah.
Because we also have remote our colleagues joining. They are over in Russia,
Okay.
and we would like to start them. So everybody will be here at the same time. How you doing?
Good morning.
Mason.
Abraham, nice to meet you.
Oh, Abraham.
Hey, what's up? How you
What's,
doing, bro? Good morning. What's up, bro? You guys started over, right?
No,
No, we're waiting for you.
Waiting for me?
Waiting for
Nice.
this.
Awesome. Yeah,
Look
yeah,
at
yeah.
that, Abraham has one.
This is Michael, Sebastian,
Mason.
Mason.
Nice to meet you.
These guys are part of my team.
Yeah.
I was able to take them out of the office today.
It's good.
Couldn't
Yeah,
bring
thank
everyone,
you.
couldn't bring everyone.
Thank you for coming down.
Thanks for having us. I appreciate this. I really do. Meet your team and hopefully you can earn their business.
And so I think we can first talk about like local business programs you have, and then touch base on internet for foreign nationals. Because we have team in Moscow who also work. I mean, they send us a lot of leads for foreign national clients, and they nowadays they all look for mortgages as well. Because for example, overseas the rate will be 10, 11%,
Correct.
12%. Here you can be much more.
Yes, correct.
So you find good land? Do you find good land? Yeah.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah, you really I remember. How was your trip?
It was very, very useful because it's a English motion.
Yeah.
Okay guys, let's begin. So we have, today we'll do a presentation with US Mortgage of Florida. This is Michael, the principal, and he will talk about programs, their programs, what they're offering, and how we can work together and grow our businesses. We also looking at the option of partnering up with the Zillow, our Zillow Premier program. So it will be very beneficial for everybody. And so please, let's listen to what guys have to offer, and then we'll continue with Q&A session after the presentation.
Sure, sounds good. Well, first of all, thank you for coming. I appreciate it and your time. I'm Michael from US Mortgage. I'm the branch manager. I'm the loan officer. I have Mason, he's in charge of business development. Sebastian's in charge, works in business development as well. So, US Mortgage, we're a direct lender. We're located in Boca Raton. We service the whole state. I myself, I'm licensed in 5 states. Florida, North Carolina, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and New York. So that's where I am personally located. The company is located in more states, licensed in more states. You know, if we have a loan in another state, I can have somebody else do it. That's not a problem. We're a direct lender, so what that means, a direct lender, we're different than brokers, and we're different than banks. So direct lenders, we use our own money to fund the loan, okay? We're not a third party, we use our own money to fund the loan. We get reimbursed after the loan is sold. So it's our money, our underwriters, our processors. Everything stays in-house, which is great. When you deal with a bank, the file goes throughout the country. As you know, you deal with Wells Fargo, it can start here in Florida, go to Texas, go to the Midwest, so it's all over the place and there's no transparency. So with us, everything stays in-house. Everything's right there in Boca Raton. So there's a question, a problem, you call, that's not a problem. We do all types of loans, conventional, FHA, VA. We do USDA. I don't know if you guys get involved in USDA down here, it's more for rural areas, or maybe a homestead might be a rural area.
Homestead,
Yeah.
acreage, or
No, there's no big acreage, it's just that the property has to be located in the USDA area. That's
okay.
it.
And it's like 0% down, or
0% down, 0% down.
What
and
about
the
first time buyer?
Up to 1-2%.
First time buyer, so first time buyer, there's 3% conventional, or 3.5% FHA. Okay?
Mhm.
That's pretty much for the first time.
What
buyer.
does it mean up to 1 or 2% financing?
Say that again, I'm sorry?
102% financing.
That's for USDA.
Yes.
Because USDA has a guarantee fee.
Mhm.
They have a guarantee fee, so that guarantee fee is added on top.
I see.
So that's why it's 102%. Okay? And the mortgage insurance is 0.40 is the mortgage insurance for it. 0.40. So whatever the loan amount is, it's times 0.40 all the time. So it's not like a conventional loan where the mortgage insurance is risk-based, where it's depending on the loan to value, the credit score. So with USDA, it's a flat 0.40%. Okay? The other 100% financing is VA. Is for veterans. It's 100% financing, and that's with no mortgage insurance, which is great. Okay? I do a lot of veterans. I'm a veteran myself. I'm a Marine veteran. So,
I wish I will return.
so I've done a lot of that. My first loan was a VA loan.
and it's up to like there's a limit for 417, I believe, right?
Yes, it's it's the same thing with, conventional loans. You have the jumbo loan, and
Mhm.
so, there is a limit for that. But we can always, look at everybody and see what we can do for them. We try not to turn anybody away. We'll try to find them a loan. Now, we also do hard money loans. Now, you may have a hard money lender, I'm sure you do, and, our hard money loans are 10.5% and 12.5%.
Mhm.
That's it. Good credit, 10.5, bad credit, 12.5. So if you have a hard money lender, just, stay with that person, because I've heard, some hard monies are down to 8%. So that's great. Let's see, what else can we talk about?
Condo program.
Condos, I know you guys do a lot of condos, correct?
Apartments, I mean.
So, right, so with the condo, I have a program where we can do as little as 10% down
Mhm.
for a non-warrantable condo. And with all the condos around here in South Florida aren't warrantable.
Mhm.
And they
And
want
non-warrantable is because there are low reserves.
low
etc.?
reserves, delinquencies,
Mhm.
there's all types of things that, make a condo not warrantable. And you have to put 25% down. Okay?
Yeah.
So we can do as little as 10% down on a condo, which is great.
That's
So what
very good for you.
that's great, because there's a lot of people that don't have the 25% to put down on a condo. So as long as they have 10% and a 680 credit score, I can help them, which is great.
Now, what will be the rate starts from?
It's gonna be your typical conforming interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not anything crazy. The way I do is I split the loan.
Mm-hmm.
So they have 2 loans.
Mm-hmm.
No mortgage insurance, but I split the loan.
Mm-hmm.
So the first loan is 10%. The first loan would be, they're putting 10% down, okay? Then the second mortgage is 15%. So 10 and 15 is 25. So the buyer, there's 25% that's being put down.
Mm-hmm.
So 10% of their money, 15% of the second mortgage, all goes to the closing table. So that's 25%. So that's how we're able to do that.
And is there mortgage insurance?
No mortgage
No
insurance,
mortgage.
because that second mortgage is gonna take place of the mortgage insurance.
So let's say we finance a condominium for $1 million, like here in Sunny House,
Mhm.
for example.
10% down.
$100,000.
Right? 15%.
15%
Second.
second
Mm-hmm.
down.
Right.
So you have but how you finance or
It's a second mortgage.
second mortgage?
So 15% on $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got it?
In
10%.
total.
Right.
But the borrowers are responsible for the 15% down.
Right, the borrower's
Yeah.
not putting the 15% down, the 15% is coming from the second mortgage.
Okay, okay.
Now, open it up.
So he's financing the down payment basically.
The second mortgage, correct, the 15%.
Mm-hmm.
So he need actually only 10%, 100,000, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
10%, correct.
Plus, I mean, what about the
Uh,
points there or?
No points unless you wanna pay points.
So can you give example to calculate? So
Yeah.
because we work in these numbers,
Okay.
we need to understand, because before we present something, this is how personally I work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I need to
can do
understand
that.
myself.
So
I
obviously,
make your job easier.
so what do you wanna do, a $500,000 condo?
Whatever, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do 500.
Alright, so with a $500,000 condo, 10%, you know what that is, right? 50,000, okay? Then we're gonna take 500,000 times 15% is 75.
Mm-hmm.
So you add those together, so that's what the down payment is gonna be. But all they have to worry about is their 10%,
Only 50,000.
only 50,000.
What else they need for closing besides this 50K?
The closing costs, your typical,
Yes, nothing to your side. Closing cost
No.
is 50.
your typical closing cost, and that comes from the title company.
No
that you
closing,
choose.
no points, no underwriter fee from your side.
You have processing and underwriting,
So how much?
and that is, I think, $1,200.
Is it depends on loan amount?
No, that's it. Boom.
Mm-hmm.
It's standard.
What's the difference? Do you have program for international buyers?
Well, we have foreign national program.
Yes.
Okay, so it was
For
always,
example, Serge works a lot with Canadian buyers, and
Good.
we have a lot, whole
we
team
do a lot of
also.
Canadian buyers, okay?
Mhm.
But the only thing I'm gonna tell you with Canadian, they use TD Bank.
Mhm.
Because
Maybe.
TD Bank is a Canadian bank, and they have special programs.
Mm-hmm.
I lost the loan for that reason, because they went with TD Bank. I think TD Bank was doing maybe 15% down.
Okay.
And TD Bank is Canadian bank?
Canadian Bank.
It's
Oh, but-
Canadian, but they have branch here. It's separate, you know.
Yeah.
Separate, so it's, but they still finance?
Yes, for a Canadian
You must have
citizen.
approval for
Mm.
here. No, it doesn't matter. They work with everybody actually.
They work with everybody, but I'm trying to say is for a Canadian citizen, they take care of the Canadian citizen and give them, a 15% down
Mhm.
on a foreign national, which is untouchable.
I see.
Foreign national used to be 30% down. That's
Okay.
what we did.
Okay.
Now we have a program for 20% down foreign national.
20%
20% down, stays in house, it's our own hedge fund,
Nice.
okay?
What is your approval process for foreigners? Like what you require for the
It's
paper?
your typical, international credit, CPA letter saying that they're employed.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just minimal stuff, there's nothing crazy.
P1 visa if they're working here.
Okay. No, just we're
No,
talking
no,
about
foreign
investors.
national.
No.
Oh, right, does everybody know what a foreign national is?
It's, I mean, just,
So a foreign national is somebody who lives in another country
Yes.
that wants to buy a second home here in the
Yeah.
United States. They can't work here, because if they work here, they're not actually a foreign national.
yeah, they
You're
get
employed there.
employed, yeah.
Right,
But does you consider investor also foreign national?
say that again. I'm sorry.
Investors, it's also foreign national. For example, if investor wants to buy 3 houses,
Yeah, you can do an investment,
yeah.
they can do investor,
You cannot have three houses like second home. Yeah, it's second, third, first home.
Right, so it's investment then. Right?
Okay, so the same 20%.
Yes.
What about interest rate?
Interest rate, I'm thinking in the fives, mid to upper fives,
Okay.
adjustable rate.
30 years.
Adjustable.
Amortization.
Yeah, adjustable. 30 years,
Adjustable. It means
5 years,
5 years fixed.
5 years fixed.
Okay.
So for 5 years it's fixed, and then
And it's all.
Then it will adjust with the market. With the
What
market.
about if they pay more down payment? Is it will affect interest rate like 30-40% down?
I don't think so. No, that's not gonna affect anything.
Because it's different, Nick. Last meeting it was
Mm-hmm.
depending on down payment
They
rate
put more
was.
down and it lowered
Yeah.
the interest rate.
Yeah.
I can check,
No, that's why I asked.
yeah, I can check for you. Take a note of that, guys.
And it's
I'll
also
check.
like balloon.
Because it's
mortgage.
less risk for you, yeah. More
Yeah.
more
Yeah,
deposit.
Yeah,
Okay, what
Thanks,
about,
David.
oh, yeah.
What about-
yeah, I just let them go read everything.
Okay.
so, jumbo?
Jumbo loan, so I have a program with Jumbo too,
Mm-hmm.
all right? 5% down with Jumbo, no mortgage insurance.
Mm,
All right, you know Jumbo loans, you have to put 20% down.
yeah.
So 5% down, no mortgage insurance.
And, I mean, but can you talk more about jumbo loans, because I'm not, like, for example, new agents are not familiar with
Okay.
what jumbo is, like, how, what is it?
Jumbo it means big, yeah.
Yeah.
I already know.
Um, So, there's, Fannie Mae sets a loan limit. And I think it is, I think it's there's a 485, I think it is, 365, something like that. There's a loan limit, okay? So anything over that loan limit is considered a jumbo loan.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd have to put 20% down. Now, you don't necessarily have to put 20% down. So let's say the loan is 500,000. So you gotta get it to the minimum of the look up and see what the loan limit is, I forgot. Is it 465?
Changes by.
465, 350? No, it doesn't, it's Fannie Mae.
Yeah.
465, 350. So all you have to do is put enough money down to get the
Mhm.
465, 350. Okay? But now if you buy a $700,000-800,000 home, you have to put 20% down.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no way you're gonna hit that mark, all right? But we have a program where you can put 5% down for a jumbo. No mortgage insurance,
Yeah, that's a big one.
okay?
That's a big
And the
one.
rate, I think it's gonna be in that high fives.
485.
45,
Yeah.
360, I think?
It's an increase from 453. I only see 485.
It's 45, yeah.
Huh? Balloon payment? No, balloon. It's so you, for 5 years, you have fixed rate,
Yes.
and then it's either like
That's not a balloon.
No, that's why I asked. Like I confused.
balloon, yeah.
Oh, and sorry.
Good, yeah.
One question. What about if 5 years fix? I'm talking about investor case. In 3 years they sold the house. Any penalty for early cancellation?
Yes, now, I think with the second mortgage on the condo, I think they have to be in there for 1 year.
1 year.
1 year.
If you need second mortgage. What about if they buy second home? They pay 20-30%
Foreign
down.
national?
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
I
talking
think
only about
there
that.
is a prepayment penalty. I think it's 3 years,
3 years.
3-year prepayment penalty.
So it means if it's less than 3 years, is they sell it.
Then they get a prepayment penalty, but it's prorated. So the closer you get to 3 years,
Yes.
the less it is. So if you buy the house today and sell it next month, you're gonna have a high prepayment penalty.
What about if they sell in 2 years? Like,
Then the prepayment penalty is low.
can you give idea? Because usually, like, banks say 3-6 months interest. You know, like you'd calculate different way.
Yeah, there's a calculator, I'd have to calculate it. So every house is different depending on the,
But it's important. See, I ask all these questions, sorry, because I need to know, should I offer your
No, more
program to my
questions
investor
better.
or no?
Yeah.
More questions, better, guys.
More questions, so I know and I can email you back. You give
Yeah.
me your business card, I'll email it back to
Okay.
you. I'll take notes and, you can ask me anything. Anything you wanna ask me, I'll take a note. I don't know it now, but I'll get back to you, let you know for sure. Because I don't wanna, tell you something that's not accurate.
Because it's better if I ask you one time and I can answer their question. Because this is what everybody asks me
Yeah.
before they jump or call you, you know.
Mhm.
Okay.
100%.
And I don't want to make approval for them instead
Yeah.
of you, but
You
at
wanna know
least.
prepayment penalty?
Yes.
What it is, there's a calculator,
Mhm.
okay, I don't know exactly what it is, but I can find that out.
And how, it says here, how long it takes to approve? Around 1 month? It says 30, up to 30 days? For
Closing.
foreign national?
Foreign national, 30 days. Foreign nationals are pretty quick because there's not much documentation.
Mhm.
CPA letter, you
Mhm.
know, international credit, simple stuff.
Okay.
So in 30 days, so you can, I mean.
Yeah, close a foreign national.
Or quicker. What's
Yeah.
the quickest, I mean, 2 weeks, it depends.
Well, if it's not a foreign national,
Mhm.
we can close loans in 2 weeks.
Question, do you do like pre-approval? Let's
Yes.
say people want to buy something, they don't know if they will qualify for mortgage or not. So instead of wasting time and make offer, you know,
Yeah,
can
so-
you like some kind of pre-approval, at least to see what the people can...
Of course, so you have to have a pre-approval
Yeah.
before you put an offer on the house. We all know that, and every realtor knows that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna accept an offer on a house if you don't have a pre-approval. So there's 2 ways I can do a pre-approval. I can do it right over the phone with somebody. Okay, take their information, pull their credit. If they're a W-2 employee, we'll go ahead and issue the pre-approval. If the credit's good, what they say they make is accurate, we'll go ahead and issue a pre-approval. So 15, 20, 30 minutes, they'll have a pre-approval, you'll have a pre-approval. The other way is I have a link. I'll email them a link, they can apply right online. Okay, so they can do that right in their home. As soon as they're done, I'll be notified. It automatically imports into my system, and I can look at everything, I'll call them, just to see if, you know, there's any mistakes, and everything is good, we'll issue the pre-approval.
Mhm.
So it's that simple. Now, a self-employed borrower, I like to get their tax returns. And the reason for that is because self-employed borrowers write off a lot of, you know, stuff with their businesses.
Mhm.
So we wanna look at their tax returns and make sure, you know, they're accurate. Unless you say, no, don't worry about it, I know them, they're good, they claim, you know, it's my brother, it's my sister, whatever. You know, I know what they're claiming, just issue me the pre-approval. And then I'll issue the pre-approval. If that's what you want, I'll do it. But if it comes back that the tax returns
Yes.
aren't accurate, you know,
Yes.
you're not gonna get mad at me because you already knew,
Mhm.
you know, what you wanted just to get an offer in. So that's not a problem. So pre-approval is right then and there. I don't know if I mentioned before, you know, I work nights, weekends, holidays, my team's always working. So you can always get in touch with us. Because I know, I've been doing this 16 years, I know, you know, realtors work on weekends. That's when everybody goes out, they work at night, people are off from work, so that's when you guys are working. And you know, you wanna pick up the phone and say, hey, I need a pre-approval, I have a client, can you pre-approve them now? Sure, not a problem.
Mhm.
Cool.
So for foreign national, you also need tax return if it's self-employed.
No, CPA letter, no tax
CPA,
returns.
okay.
We don't care about that, it's, you know, another country, we just need a
Okay.
CPA letter saying, yes, they're self-employed, you know, this is what they should be making. I think we might need a profit and loss statement,
Okay.
but that's
Okay.
Well,
profit
for
and loss.
example, Europe and Russia, you also, I mean, CPA there, I mean, you need a, I guess, a letter from
A letter,
CPA
CPA.
and his certification or something to. I
To
mean-
prove that he's legit, I'm
Mhm.
sure they're gonna want something like that,
Mhm.
you know. But for the most part, it's, you know, a CPA.
Yeah.
a
Do you
license.
require also letter from bank, foreigner, like they good standing client or something?
I think they may have to have the money here in the United States.
Oh, that's a
That's-
good question.
yeah,
Do you
because-
require like 3 months, it has to be
I
here?
believe so, yes, the money has to be here in the United
But
States.
what about if it's Canadian bank? Because some bank here tell if it's in Canadian, they don't care also. Like if
They
it's
don't
stay in Canadian, at least 3 months.
It's fine, yeah, I'll find that out for sure,
Okay.
and no, for sure.
Okay.
Max Daisy program.
What about, so you also offer reverse mortgages, like I'm just looking.
We do reverse mortgages, I don't get involved with them,
Uh-huh.
okay? But I have somebody at the company that will do reverse mortgages for you.
Non-conforming loans.
A non-conforming loan would be like a bank statement loan, you know, non-QM or foreign national
Mhm.
is
Oh,
not,
this is
exactly.
also part of non.
So we have a bank statement loan, okay? And what a bank statement loan is, we'll use 12 to 24 months of bank statements
Mhm.
and qualify your borrower, a self-employed borrower, okay? So all we care, we don't want W-2s, we don't want well, not W-2, we don't want tax returns,
Mhm.
because with the tax returns, are writing everything off.
Yeah.
If you know somebody who cannot qualify, we'll just do bank statements. So we'll take 12 or 24 months of bank statements, add up all the deposits, take 30% off of that, and qualify them on 70% of their deposits.
Mm.
So that's another good,
And what's the down payments there and the rates are the same or?
they're about the same, yeah. The rates are in that 5 area.
Mhm.
The down payment, I believe it is 20% down
20%.
for the bank statement loan. And self-employed borrowers typically have the money in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have the, show their income, so the 20% down they typically have.
What about if investor bought the house, make mortgage from you? He might rehab, like house increase in value. How easy he can get refinance to take out cash if its house cost more now?
He can refinance,
How soon?
6 months. 6 months.
And what is the refinance, like loan to value?
For
How-
investor,
Mm-hmm.
for an investment property, you have to put at least 15% down. For investment property.
Yes, but how much he can refinance? For how much percentage wise from market value?
I just said, if you.
Oh, okay, 85 up to 85%.
Correct, right, so up to 85% would be the cash out.
Okay.
So if it does increase in 6 months, and you can pull some money out, 85%.
Mm-hmm.
But then 85%, you're gonna have mortgage insurance.
Okay.
You know,
And interest will be the same or different?
for investment properties,
Mhm.
they're higher. It's an
Okay.
investment property. So you're in the high fives,
Okay.
depending on, credit, and down payment.
Okay. What
You
do
have
you
any questions?
do you offer construction loans for like single family construction or multi-family?
We do construction loans as well.
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine if somebody, wants to buy the property and wants to do a construction loan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I work, for example, my family, like, we build houses too, so we work with, we borrow.
You buy your property and
Yeah,
then.
buy a single
subcontract.
family and then
Right.
just,
You can do that too, construction loans.
what the rates are on
The same thing, those rates are, in
Mhm.
that 5 mark.
25?
Yeah, which isn't bad.
Yeah, that's good. And or you take land as an asset or?
Well, you're still gonna have to qualify, there's a certain amount of money down, it's just
Yeah,
like
yeah.
your typical mortgage.
Okay.
Is this case what Nick just asked you, construction loan? The house has to be bought for cash, or it can have mortgage and you can
No,
still give construction
Correct, it
loan?
has mortgage, so they buy the property.
Yes.
So now, you're gonna get the mortgage, and so much of it goes towards this, so much of it's gonna go towards that, so much of it's gonna go towards this, and then at the end, you have a mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing. And typically, people who have a construction loan, after they finish the house, they typically refinance and get a conforming interest rate, a lower interest rate.
Okay.
So the big things are 5% down jumbo, no mortgage insurance.
Mm-hmm.
That's big, that you should guys,
Yeah,
it's a great
so,
program. The other is the bank statement loan.
mm-hmm. So, one more time, so let's say the condominium is half $500,000.
Okay, 500,000,
10% down, right?
50,000,
Yeah, and
and
the rest,
15% on the second mortgage.
second mortgage.
We take care of that for them,
You take, okay, yeah.
Right.
So
So
they
then
only
it's
need
set-
50K.
correct.
So let's say we have a buyer, they wanna buy in beach club, for 500K, you can get what, 1 bedroom there?
There might be, yeah, it's like gonna be 1,000 square
One
feet.
bedroom, 400.
Yeah, 400, yeah. 400.
Is it minimum amount for loan? Because some banks start, for example, with 100K, no less.
Yeah, so I don't go lower than 75,000
Okay.
Yeah.
loan amount.
Yes.
So I mean, because it just doesn't make sense anymore. It just doesn't make sense.
And for 10%, I mean, for pre-qualification, the documents, is it available only for residents here with tax returns, etc., or it's also qualified for bank statement, probably not?
What do you mean, pre-approving somebody?
Yeah, and then not pre-approving, just for example, if it's for a local, buyer,
Mhm.
US resident, to qualify for this 10% down, what do they need to submit? I mean, we need to ask them questions, do you guys have 2 years of tax returns, right?
Well, if you're a W-2 employee, you don't need tax returns.
Okay.
No tax returns for W-2 employees, unless they have rental properties
Mm-hmm.
where they're writing stuff off. But if you have somebody who's a straight W-2 employee, no rental properties, they're salaried, or they're hourly, they know exactly what they make, all you need is W-2s, really tax returns,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. So
And
there's
if they-
nothing special
Mhm.
for the 10% down. It's your typical conforming loan,
And if they're self-employed,
2 years tax
2
returns.
years, 2 years tax return.
If they say, I don't claim anything on my tax returns, then you should be thinking and say, okay, we have a bank statement loan.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if they say I don't show any income, but I do have money in the bank,
Yeah.
then you're looking at you're thinking bank statement loan. So you should always, you know, you should always be thinking, you know, when you guys start asking the questions, you know, already your mind should be going, like, where am I gonna place this person, you know? What type of property, you know, what type of program, you know, can we get them in?
Can you still confirm, when I ask foreign national 20% down, around 5% if it's second home, what about if it's investment property?
Investment property, I'll find out that rate for you.
Okay,
How's that? So this way you know,
good.
instead of just throwing something at you. Yeah, I can find that out. Now, with the foreign national, you're buying it as a second home, no matter what.
Okay.
It's
How
always
many
good.
second home you can buy?
You're buying it as a second home.
No, how many
You're
second?
buying it as a second
How?
home.
Wow.
Good
Good answer.
You're buying it as a second home.
I think we can have business here.
So I'll see how many investment properties you can have. You know, we'll double check that for you. The other thing, there was something else I wanted to say to you guys too. It'll come to me, I'm sure it'll come to me.
Oh, question about condos, because again, a lot of investors want to buy apartments in condo hotels.
Okay.
Like, do you work
We
with them?
offer condo hotels. Financing on condo hotels, is that
You
what
do
you're
it,
asking?
yeah? Yes, yeah.
Condo hotels.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
No limited review.
No, it's funny because again, remember the last company who came, they tell they have very good criteria about finance condo hotels or no. The appraiser come and they look if kitchen must have stove with 4 burners.
Okay.
If it doesn't have, they don't
It has 2
consider
burners, that's it.
because it's like kitchenette. They cannot consider it's like regular residential.
Yeah, I understand.
You don't have this criteria.
I don't know.
See, I tell you.
I don't know. I never had that come up yet.
Because a lot of condo hotels that I work in with investors, they really
2
don't.
burners?
No, they don't have stove at all. They have sink, they have fridge, they have microwave. They call it kitchenette. You know.
Yeah, just a small one.
Yeah. So it means you can prepare food, but
Your mother like this.
Yeah.
you come actually to enjoy vacation. You don't come make a soup.
Yeah,
you know.
you go to restaurant
Yeah.
for food,
Yeah.
so you don't cook at home.
Uh-huh.
I also put my question here, yeah, so I can send
Yeah.
over.
Yeah. That loan,
I wrote it down as well.
that loan there would be brokered out. Condo hotels would be brokered. That'd
Okay.
be brokered. So I'm gonna send it to somebody else to do that loan. Okay? That's not gonna be done in-house, condo hotels.
Okay.
The big thing, the other thing is the condos, you know, 10% down.
What,
with the loan review.
what about FHA 203K?
So a 203K is a rehab loan, okay? You can do as little as 3.5% down and rehab the property,
How many percent down?
3.5.
3.5.
So that's not gonna change.
So so let's say we're buying property to rehab. Do we have to keep it? We have to keep it like it's buyers who looking to buy and live in it, right, or no?
Yes, FHA is specifically
Yeah.
for owner-occupied homes. Same thing with,
So it means if you're an investor, you should take like construction loan for rehab.
correct, if you're gonna build from scratch.
What about if you do rehab but like investor? What loan you suggest in this case?
Typically, investors, you know, they know what they're buying, most
They
of them buy.
calculate everything in advance.
Most of them buy
yeah.
cash, you know, they're educated buyers, they know what they're doing. Most of them buy cash, they know what they're getting themselves into, and they rehab it themselves,
Okay.
you know, for the most part. You know, conventional loans, there is a rehab loan, it's called the home style loan, and that's a rehab loan for conventional loans.
Because FHA 203K only, I think,
FHA.
yeah, it's for hard properties, for example.
Correct.
You when you bid on them, you have to specify that you
You
signed
buy
the
it like
disclosure.
for your prime residence.
Yeah.
Yes,
That you signed the disclosure that you can sell it in like 1 year, maybe it's more now, like depends.
But you
Yeah.
can still sell it in 1 year.
Yeah,
sure, sure, you can sell anytime,
After,
you can sell anytime.
you can sell anytime, but you will pay, if you sell it before a certain time frame, you pay penalty, I guess.
No, not with FHA.
Yeah, I'm talking about the government.
The two of, no, it's
No?
fine. No,
Really?
there's no fees, no.
Oh,
No prepayment penalties on that.
yeah, because we have HUD certification, we can buy HUD properties.
But they don't have to be HUD properties, it doesn't have to be a HUD home,
Yeah, yeah.
owned home. It
Mhm.
can be any property.
Okay.
Now, FHA, the condos are FHA approved.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's maybe 5 in the whole state of Florida that are FHA approved condos.
Yeah, one in Fort Lauderdale, then
Yeah, there's very few FHA approved condos.
But
Trump
Yeah.
was FHA approved.
which one?
Sanya.
Which one?
Trump Royal.
Is that right?
Yeah. But yeah, I've checked, and then
There's not many.
yeah,
it's only
5
it's
or
only
6,
for
yeah.
citizen. Yeah, you cannot do FHA for foreigner.
No, it's a government.
Mhm.
FHA is for you guys know what FHA is? First time home buyer.
It's, for somebody who wants to, somebody who doesn't have the best credit, somebody who wants to put 3.5% down. So that's why it's a good program, and the interest rates are still lower than conventional rates, even with somebody who doesn't have the best credit.
Wow.
Надо куча обезьянок, first time home buyer.
Yeah, first time home buyer, the only first time home buyer is a 3% down conventional, 3.5% down, FHA. But you don't have to be a first time home buyer to get an FHA loan, okay? So just remember that, you don't have to be a first time home buyer to get an FHA loan.
What about mortgage for land?
Mortgage,
For land,
But
for land loans,
do you provide?
that will be brokered out. I think there's a minimum of
680 credit score.
680 credit score,
so.
minimum loan amount of 200,000,
And you have Michael.
and I think there may be with 30% down.
Michael have there his own side.
Yeah,
Mhm.
so they'd have to, they'd have to buy a property,
30% down?
So Michael
30, I
have-
believe it's 30% down, check Mason. I know you had that, we spoke about that. So 680 credit score, minimum loan amount of 200,000,
Mm-hmm, okay.
and that would be just on the land.
Yeah, they're looking at the website. I guess this is the one you have.
Mm-hmm.
This is this one.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. And then you could click
So
that
there-
apply online, right
So
there.
right here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you can submit application,
Mm-hmm.
request, check my loan status.
So there's all kinds of stuff.
Is it you?
That's me.
Mhm.
Oh, looks good.
And so funny, right?
Happy.
Mortgage calculators, payment amortization, debt consolidation, prepayment savings,
So there's all kinds of things.
how to get a loan.
So if you click on apply for a loan, I'll show you how easy it is.
Where is
Submit my, submit my.
submit the
Try
application.
that. Then it says apply now.
Apply now.
See, right there. So you put everything in,
Uh-huh.
and it just next, boom, everything in, boom, and just keep going.
So you have a few tabs: loan information, personal, employment and income, asset and liabilities, declaration, consent, summary.
That's it.
So when you submit, it goes to you, and then
It goes to me, everything gets uploaded into my system. I open up my loan officer system, and everything's right there.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just call them, because if somebody makes a mistake, don't panic, so you tell them, don't panic, it's fine. Okay, because this isn't in stone. I'm gonna go in and change and fix anything that they put in there. That's not a problem. You know, if they put the wrong amount down, because it happens all the time. Sometimes people put down what they make a year in a month, so I can just go in and change it.
Good.
Excuse me.
Okay, any questions?
You guys have any more questions?
We had lots of questions.
So let's go.
Very appreciate for information. Thank you.
As long as I helped you guys, you know, that's what I'm here for. You know, to make
I
your
have
job
a
easier.
question.
Yes, sir.
So, let's say the house or the condo is overpriced, like by 10% or 25% over the market. Do you guys still finance that, like full amount?
You say that again.
Like, so let's say the house is worth $300,000, and the seller is selling it overpriced, $325,000. But the house value based on the market is only like 295 or
Okay.
300,000. Will you guys still finance the house?
Nobody will. Tell me who's gonna do that.
Yeah, I know. Like,
You can't. You just can't. You're gonna, If a house is that's what the appraisal process is.
Mhm.
So they're gonna do an appraisal to try to make sure that the house isn't overpriced. You know, and what it is, if, you know, somebody's selling it for 300 and it comes back at 295,
Yeah.
that's when it's up to you guys to negotiate that price to
So let's
295.
say the buyer puts like the difference there.
They can do that. Is that what
Would
you're
you guys-
asking?
Yeah, would you guys still find
Yeah, we
the
can still do that.
295 and
Because
it's
they're only
overpriced?
gonna get a mortgage based on 295,000.
Okay.
If they wanna come up with the extra 5, they're bringing that obviously to closing.
Mhm.
They're buying a house that's overpriced.
Okay.
So that's like if you go to the store and that purple shirt, we know it's $5,
Yeah.
but they're selling it for 20 in the store.
Mhm.
Are you gonna buy it? Probably not, but if you
I-
want it,
the thing is
you're gonna buy it.
when is their home, they're fall in love with it.
That's
like,
it.
you
If
know?
they want it, you're gonna buy it.
Yeah.
The same thing, if you love that shirt, you don't care, you're gonna buy that shirt.
Yeah. Mhm.
So, that they can do that, that's not a problem.
Okay.
I've seen it where people come to closing with $20,000 and $30,000 over, you know, what the appraised value is, because they love the house and they take a shower,
Okay.
you know? Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, people, we can do that.
Okay.
And if you guys have any listings, you can just forward me the address and I can generate a single property site, and it integrates to your Facebook, LinkedIn, or whatever database you use, and it pulls everything directly from the MLS, the description, and the photos as well. It has recent sales in the area, nearby schools, and a lot of demographics such as taxes, income, and the people that live in the neighborhood. And then this is where your information would populate here. It would have your phone number, picture of your brokerage, and then if they're interested in the property, they click this button and it would be directed right to your email or your cell phone, whichever you prefer. And then this is the loan information, where you have Michael's information and loan payment, and they can contact Michael as well. And if it's your property, we'll obviously, you know, send the buyer's information back to you. And then they can contact Michael here as well, and if you had any other listings, it would be there.
Okay.
So it's great,
Can you send, like, is it a
An
link or
example?
a sample, yeah, or an
Yeah, what's your,
example?
yeah.
you can send it. And when I'm trying to get it, I don't know if you guys ever heard of list reports, ever hear of list reports? Okay, so list reports I pay for, but I can invite as many realtors as I want to list reports. So what that means is, it's kind of with the same thing as Mason's talking about, he can go in and generate a flyer. Once you put a home in the MLS and you're connected to me, you're gonna automatically get a flyer, a single property website, and everything, just like what he's saying, automatically you're gonna get it. So you can do what you want with that. You can put it on Facebook, you can put it anywhere, LinkedIn, anywhere. And when someone clicks on it, it's gonna go to you. It's like they're going to Zillow, and they're gonna click around the homes, but if somebody sees that house, they want that house, they're gonna click on it, and you're gonna get the
You got it.
information. So it's great, and it's automatic. You know, we don't have to do anything, it'll automatically come to you. So there's a lot of things that we do. And we're a direct lender, and we're not a broker. So, and the difference with that is it's our money, it's our underwriters, it's our processors. A broker has to go through lenders, they go through banks, which we don't. And our rates are better than the big banks, the 3 big banks, Chase, Bank of America, and Wells. That I know. And I get a lot, like I said, I get a lot of their fallout. You know, there's a lot of condos I get because, you know, they won't do the condos with 10% down, even though they say they could, they can't do it. They can't do it. It's
Then they
just
wait until the end.
the end, and they tell you, oh, sorry, we can't do it, they gotta put another, you know,
Yeah.
another 20% down, or they have to put another 15% down. But that's where I pick up and we can, you know, do the 2 loans and split it.
Good.
If you have any other questions, ask them, you can even, you have my contact information, I'll show you what I have for you guys. So let's pick up this. This is, it's like a game board, but it's gonna show your buyer the steps of the process. And so far, all my realtors love this. You see it? You're pre-approved right around, so this way they know through the process, and on the back there's a calendar. The 20 calendars are coming out, so I can, you know, drop some more off to you. That's it.
Go house hunting.
Then you have my trifold, if you wanna give people that, you can give them that. And the other thing I have, if you have a client that's working with another lender or a bank, give them my coupon, and we'll give them a credit of 500,000 minimum. Minimum,
$500.
$500. I said
But
500.
you like first better.
So they get a $500. All right, they'll get a credit of 500 minimum.
Ta-da!
Okay? So if they're working with someone else, just, you can send it over to them. And say, listen, just give Michael a call, it's not gonna cost you anything. And if they don't want me to pull their credit, I won't pull their credit. Because you already have a pre-approval from someone else,
Mm-hmm.
okay? But, once they have a contract, then I have to pull their credit. But for the time being, if you're happy with a pre-approval from, 123 Mortgage, we'll do we'll give them the credit, and the $500 pretty much goes towards their appraisal. But if with a bigger loan amount, I can give more, I can credit all the fees, all the lender fees, the $1,200, I can, double that, it's not a problem.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you have any other questions, you can email me, you can call me. Like I said, you can contact me at any time, you can text me. If you think it's too late, you can always text me, shoot me a text, and most of the time I'll answer it.
Do you use WhatsApp too?
Have WhatsApp.
Yeah, nice.
No, on this phone, mobile? The WhatsApp,
954.
it's connect which one phone?
The 954, because you use Ronnie with
It's
the WhatsApp.
yeah, WhatsApp. It's this phone or no?
The
No,
954.
954 is my cell phone.
Yeah, the WhatsApp is connect to your cell phone.
Yes,
yeah,
That's
correct.
why I asked.
I hear you. Okay, yep.
Okay, guys, I think, yeah. Thank you so much.
No, my pleasure. I have bagels for you guys, and I saw you saw
Yeah,
them. I'm gonna grab a bagel too. I got
Yeah, let's
some
grab
breakfast.
bagel, coffee, and take a break. And we'll continue like in 10 minutes. Because
Yeah, was there any other questions, or you good?
No?
So what are the,
Good.
what are the points? Give me the points. What's the main thing?
Condo,
3%.
Make money.
3%? You wanna do 3%?
Main points, make
25% jumbo, no mortgage insurance.
No points.
Bank
Good.
stable loan, no points.
No
Very
points.
good.
10%.
Oh, I think, wait a second,
Kinda.
foreign national, I think there is a point.
Ah!
I think there is a
Second
point
house.
on
Oh my
foreign
God.
national. I think
Don't
there
forget
is, now that I
second
think about
house.
it. Yeah, foreign national,
How much?
I think 1 point,
Oh, not too bad.
not too bad.
Good. Okay, guys.
and I sent you an example from Michael's email.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Did I get everybody's business card, who has business cards? Oh,
The business cards.
You have all my contact information. I'll just leave these here with you, you can do what you want with them.
Guys,
Thank you very much.
super good
Thank you.
presentation. Thanks a lot.
I'm glad.
Even I just started to want to second home, I need it.
So, do you want to?
So I can email you all the question again on I have to get it, so you'll know exactly what I need. Because I have a bunch of people like every day. Like I do very massive
How much are you
advertisements around.
spending on that?
But mostly see in Canada, I don't know, you work with Canadian, but I just again give you the main idea. People got used to mortgages because houses are very expensive, almost like in New York. It's not like cash buyers. Even if they have cash, they'll think smart, they try to increase leverage.
Right.
Instead of buy everything for cash, better buy 2 investment properties, or 3. But everything has to be calculated because from my side I calculate like investor, I specialize in investor. I must calculate general, not exactly dollar to dollar. Expenses and income. Expenses include mortgage payment. Before we even jump or
That's
more
what
than
you
you.
do.
Yes, exactly.
Smart.
Of course.
You have an idea already, so it's easy.
Yeah,
But
but
take their income, divide it by their debt, and there it is, boom. It's easy.
no, but I need to know interest. That's why. Like they ask me calculation. Like, what will be foreclosing? What's the point? Like what's the interest? So we can calculate monthly payment
So
and see.
what do you typically use for closing? Closing costs, like when you do it, because that's pretty much standard.
Oh, unfortunately, like, we say let's say 2%.
Okay, so good, so you're good with that.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's good. And I'll let you know if there's,
Yeah, but
point.
after that we need monthly payments, like what's the interest?
I can let you know.
It's not a fan.
Yeah. So I can send you, have my card?
Yeah, I have your card, you have all my contact
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
information.
yeah.
So yeah, anything, you have anybody, you can send them
It's
over.
crazy.
You know, you don't have to go crazy, I'll even, I can crunch it real quick.
You finance all around Florida, yeah?
Yeah, I'm licensed in
I
real
have,
estate.
Yeah, so.
I have a lot of people who wants to buy in Orlando, because for investors
Yeah,
it's
fine.
very
Yeah,
good
more
investment
federal, so
property.
A lot of foreign people.
Yeah, mostly houses. I don't
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
actually, I don't like London too much.
Yeah.
If for investment, I don't think it can be good.
Yeah. No, I do Orlando. Actually, I have a loan officer in Orlando too, but I work there. I work
That
there.
is very
I'm
good,
always
so
gonna
you
go to
can buy
Miami,
decent
this
house,
is there.
150.
Yeah.
I don't even
I
like
know.
going
It's like
down there.
10,
It's too
15 years
crazy.
It's not
old.
like it is
I
here.
like it.
I live in Delaware,
Okay.
so houses are very expensive. But when I go to Orlando, because my son goes to UCF, he goes to college there, and I can't believe it. Some of these homes are, you know, you get a $300,000 home, beautiful, you know? So it's a good price point.
Okay, so what we do also, like, what I specialize again, people buy, usually we rent them short term, because this is what gives a better return.
Yeah, pretty much.
Plus they can use for their own usage anytime.
So what you do is, the best thing for you to do is, you got my email.
Email
Email me your questions.
I just put summary, what I need.
Yeah. You email me your questions, and I'll, like, you know, the down payment, the interest rate, points.
Yeah, I ask also if it's more than payment, if it's
You
affects
tell
the
me,
interest.
I'll find out, you know, what the prepayment penalty is, if it's 3% or whatever it is. You know, I'll find out for sure.
You calculate based on percentage, not like interest per certain months?
There's, I don't know, I know there's a calculator, and you just punch it in. And it'll
Did
tell
you call
me
this
exactly.
lady?
So,
No, I haven't,
how much time is
I'm
left,
not
and
covered.
just punch it in.
Call her now.
But I can find out, I can
Over
get an
now,
answer. So you give me an
sorry.
email,
Sure,
detailed
sure.
email of all your questions, I'll get back to you. Oh, beautiful, thank you, thank you. Thank you. It was nice meeting you. Call me with any questions, And if I'm tied up, you know, Mason, you know, and he'll get in touch with me one way or another.
Clarissa, right?
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just briefly wanted to speak with you.
А что ж ты мне не напомнил?
You can talk.
Бумажки. А у меня компьютер с собой.
You know, we've
Возьми на
all over there.
Да.
Right?
Так,
We gotta work with you.
Николай.
Уже будет
Лариса. Да я понимаю.
Sí, mi nombre es
Так, я хотел
Abraham.
пригласить тренинг.
Me habían informado que nos llamaste
Check
ayer.
out my reviews.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estás?
Do the reviews.
Ah, no,
Больше
no,
зала,
no,
mira.
yo, aquí también hablamos español, acá se habla de todo. En este negocio se tiene que tener a todas las
У тебя
lenguas.
была идея офис опять поменять, да?
Ну, или надо...
Ты ищешь?
Слышишь, у меня за резидент стики-бар, там может 50 человек сидит. Давай в следующий раз там митинг